Welcome back to Talk Tickers, your shortcut to earnings call insights.
You got it.
Today we're diving into Zoetis' Q3 2024 report.
Yeah.
And let me tell you, it's a wild ride.
It is.
For those who need a quick refresher,
Yeah.
Zoetis is the top dog in animal health, literally. They make medicines and vaccines
Literally.
for everything from your pampered pup to the cattle ranches supplying your burgers.
Right.
But what I'm really excited to unpack with our expert here
Yes.
is how this call reveals Zoetis' game plan for the future of animal health.
You hit the nail on the head.
Okay.
We're not just looking at numbers here.
Yeah.
We're trying to decipher Zoetis' strategy.
Right?
And the first thing that jumps out is just how strong their performance was this quarter.
Yeah.
We're talking 14% operational revenue growth,
Wow.
a 15% jump in adjusted net income.
Okay.
It's a clinic full of healthy numbers.
It's like their growth chart just went off the leash.
That's right.
But I'm curious,
Yeah.
where's all this success coming from? Is it balanced across their different segments?
That's what's fascinating.
Yeah.
Zoetis isn't relying on one trick to win this race. They're seeing solid growth in both their companion animal and livestock businesses, which shows they're not putting all their eggs in one basket.
Okay.
But let's zoom in on the companion animal side for a second, because that's where things get really interesting.
Yes, let's talk pets.
Okay.
Their companion animal portfolio was a major highlight with a 15% revenue increase.
Big.
Is this the humanization trend we're always hearing about?
Yeah,
Are pet owners just spending more on their fur babies?
absolutely. That's a huge factor.
Okay.
Pet owners are treating their animals like family and are willing to invest in premium health care. But Zoetis is also strategically tapping into that trend.
Right.
A perfect example is Librela, their osteoarthritis pain medication for dogs.
Got it.
It's already a billion-dollar franchise for them and is driving a ton of this growth. In fact, it saw a 97% revenue jump globally.
Wow. With over 1 million dogs treated in the U.S. in less than a year, it's already their fourth biggest product in the U.S. pet care market.
Librela seems to be the golden retriever of their portfolio right now.
Yeah.
But what makes it so special? Is it just a better pain med, or is there something else at play?
It's more than just a good product.
Okay.
It's filling a gap in the market.
Right.
Librela is actually driving more clinic visits and increasing engagement in a space where pain-related visits usually slow down this time of year.
Interesting.
Think about it.
Yeah.
An estimated 17 million dogs in the U.S. alone are suffering from untreated osteoarthritis because previous options weren't tolerable.
Oh, wow.
Zoetis saw that need and created a solution.
So it's not just taking market share, it's expanding the market itself.
That's right.
Clever move.
Yep.
But Zoetis isn't a one-trick pony, right?
No,
They've got other products doing well, too.
you bet.
Okay.
Simparica Trio,
Yeah.
their triple combination parasiticide.
Is still holding strong as the #1 vet-prescribed product in its category,
Wow.
even with more competition popping up.
Oh, wow.
The convenience of a single monthly chewable, combined with their strong retail presence, is keeping Simparica Trio at the top.
Okay.
And let's not forget their dominance in dermatology.
Right.
They've practically built that market from scratch over the past decade, growing it from a tiny $70 million to a whopping $1.5 billion.
They're like the dermatologist to the stars, but for pets.
Exactly.
It sounds like they have a pretty solid lock on the companion animal space.
Yeah.
But we need to talk about the other side of their business. Livestock.
You're right.
Okay.
We can't forget about the moolah.
Right.
And this is where we see some...
So they're streamlining, becoming more specialized within livestock.
Exactly.
Okay.
It's all about targeted growth. And it's backed up by some intriguing partnerships.
Like what?
Take, for example, their new collaboration with Denone to promote sustainable dairy production.
Interesting.
It's a sign of where Zoetis is heading in the livestock arena.
So, big picture,
Yeah,
it sounds like Zoetis is firing on all cylinders.
they are.
They even raised their guidance for the full year, despite some anticipated slowing in Q4.
Right.
That's wild.
That's the real headline grabber.
Yeah.
Even with the divestiture and tough year-over-year comparisons,
Right.
they're expecting to outperform the market.
Wow.
It raises a big question, though.
What's that?
What's fueling that confidence? What's their secret sauce?
Well, they're clearly innovating like crazy.
Yeah.
Constantly developing new products and improving existing ones.
Right.
But they're also being smart about where they invest, as we saw with the divestiture. It's not just about growth.
That's right.
It's about strategic growth.
It is.
And let's not underestimate the importance of their relationships.
Definitely.
They've built strong connections with vets and pet owners,
Yeah.
establishing trust and loyalty. Plus, they're leveraging technology and alternative channels to make their products more accessible.
Yeah.
It's a holistic approach, and it's clearly working for them.
It is.
So, overall, it's a pretty positive picture for Zoetis.
Yeah.
But before we jump to conclusions, let's dive deeper into some of the specifics of this earnings call and see what other nuggets of wisdom we can unearth.
Okay.
Sounds good.
Let's do it. One thing that really struck me was their operational revenue growth, a whopping 14%. That's impressive.
It is.
Especially when the economy is a bit shaky. It makes you wonder, is this real growth? Or are they just hiking prices?
That's a great question.
Yeah.
We need to separate the inflation fluff from the real muscle, right? Did they say anything about volume growth versus price increases?
They did.
Okay.
And that's what makes this even more impressive. They're seeing strong volume growth across the board.
Wow.
Meaning people are buying more of their products, not just paying more for the same stuff.
Right.
This points to genuine demand, which bodes well for their future.
So they're not just riding the inflation wave. They're paddling hard on their own.
Exactly.
But strong revenue is only half the story.
Right.
What about their profitability? Are they spending a fortune to fuel this growth?
Now, that's where things get even more interesting.
Okay.
Their adjusted net income is up a staggering 15%.
Wow.
Even faster than revenue growth.
Really?
They're not just growing, they're growing profitably.
They've found the sweet spot.
Yeah.
That magical balance of expansion and efficiency.
It is.
Investors love to see that.
They do.
But let's zoom out for a sec.
Yeah.
What does Zoetis' success tell us about the animal health industry as a whole?
Right.
Is this a rising tide lifting all boats? Or are they the exception?
I'd say it's a bit of both.
Okay.
The pet care industry is booming globally.
Yeah.
With pet ownership on the rise.
Right.
And people more willing than ever to invest in their furry friends' well-being. That creates a favorable environment for all players.
So it's like a tailwind pushing them forward.
Yeah.
But what sets Zoetis apart? Why are they leading the pack?
Zoetis is the global leader in animal health for a reason.
Yeah.
They've got a diverse portfolio,
Right.
a strong R&D pipeline, constantly churning out new innovations, and a proven track record of execution.
Right.
They don't just react to the market, they shape it.
Okay, so back to the earnings call.
Yeah.
One thing that jumped out at me was their discussion of Librela's growth potential. They made it sound like they're just getting started with this blockbuster drug.
That's a key takeaway. They see a huge untapped market for Librela, especially in the U.S.
Right.
Currently, millions of dogs are being treated with traditional NSAIDs for osteoarthritis.
Yeah.
But Librela offers a potentially safer and more effective alternative.
Interesting.
They're actively educating vets and pet owners about these benefits.
They even mentioned that Librela is bringing new patients into the market who weren't being treated at all before.
Yeah.
That's not just grabbing market share. It's growing the entire pie.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And that's what sets Zoetis apart. Their innovation is creating entirely new categories of care.
Right.
And that's driving growth for everyone.
Yeah.
It's a win-win for Zoetis, for vets, for pet owners, and most importantly, for the animals themselves.
It's great to see a company prioritizing animal welfare while also achieving strong financial results.
It is.
So Librela is a star.
Yeah.
But what other products are they excited about?
Well, Simparica Trio continues to be a powerhouse, holding its own as the top vet-prescribed parasiticide, even with increased competition.
What's their secret weapon?
Yeah.
How are they staying ahead in such a crowded market?
They were the first to market in the U.S. with a triple combination parasiticide, which gave them a head start.
Right.
But it's not just about being first.
Right.
It's about building brand awareness and loyalty, and they've done a fantastic job with that.
Their marketing has been on point.
It has.
Especially highlighting the convenience of a single monthly chewable.
Right.
And they're not limiting themselves to traditional channels.
No.
They're leveraging retail and online sales to make their products even more accessible.
Yeah.
This isn't just about convenience.
Right.
It's about driving compliance. When it's easier for pet owners to get and administer medication, they're more likely to stick to the schedule, which ultimately leads to better health outcomes for the animals.
Well, it's a smart strategy.
Speaking of smart strategies, What's the latest on their dermatology franchise?
Yeah.
They built this market from scratch and are facing some new challengers.
Despite anticipating increased competition,
Yeah.
they're still confident.
Okay.
Apoquel and Cytopoint continue to be strong performers,
Mm-hmm.
and they're actively developing new products to defend their turf.
So they're not just sitting back.
No.
They're ready to fight for their market share.
Absolutely.
And they even pointed out that new competitors can sometimes benefit everyone.
Right.
By expanding the overall market.
Yeah.
It's a rising tide mentality.
It is.
Okay, so let's move from the furry friends to the farm animals.
Okay.
What's the story with their livestock business?
As we mentioned earlier,
Yeah.
they streamlined their livestock operations by selling their medicated feed additives portfolio.
Right.
This allows them to focus on higher growth areas
Okay.
like preventatives, antibiotic alternatives, and genetics.
It's a strategic shift,
It is.
focusing on where they see the most potential.
Exactly.
And their partnership with Denone to promote sustainable dairy production is a great example of this new direction.
A great example.
It's a really interesting development.
Yeah.
What's the thinking behind that partnership?
It aligns perfectly with the growing consumer demand for sustainable and ethically produced food.
Okay.
Consumers are more aware than ever about animal welfare and the environmental impact of food production.
Yeah.
Zoetis is getting ahead of this trend by positioning themselves as leaders in sustainable livestock practices.
So they're not just thinking about profits.
Yep.
They're thinking about the bigger picture.
Exactly.
This partnership allows them to leverage their expertise to make a real difference in the sustainability of dairy production.
That's right.
It's a win for Zoetis,
Mm-hmm.
a win for Denone,
Yeah.
and ultimately a win for consumers who want to feel good about the products they buy.
Exactly.
Okay, so we've covered a lot of ground here,
We have.
but let's tie it all back to the big picture. Their financial performance.
Mm.
They've raised their guidance for the full year 2024.
Right.
What's driving that confidence?
Their core franchises are performing exceptionally well.
Oh.
They're seeing strong demand both domestically and internationally,
Mm-hmm.
and they're managing their expenses effectively.
Right.
They're walking the walk, not just talking the talk.
And they're benefiting from a favorable pricing environment,
Yes.
implementing price increases without hurting demand.
Exactly.
That's a clear sign of their pricing power,
Mm-hmm.
which stems from the strength of their brands and the value their products provide.
It does.
Okay, so they're killing it in the present.
Yeah.
But what about the future? What are their long-term growth prospects?
They're optimistic,
Yeah.
and for good reason.
Okay.
They see continued growth in both the companion animal and livestock markets,
Mm-hmm.
fueled by trends like rising pet ownership,
Right?
growing demand for animal protein,
Mm-hmm.
and a greater emphasis on animal health and well-being.
So they're riding a wave of favorable megatrends.
Exactly. Plus, their robust R&D pipeline is constantly developing new products.
Right.
They're poised for continued innovation and growth for years to come.
It sounds like a pretty solid story.
It is.
But as always, we need to consider the risks.
Yeah.
What are some of the potential headwinds they could face?
Competition is a big one.
Okay.
The animal health market is attracting new players all the time,
Right.
which puts pressure on everyone.
They've already seen that play out in the parasiticide and dermatology markets.
We have
Yes.
economic downturns are always a concern.
Right.
People tend to cut back on discretionary spending during tough times,
Mm-hmm.
and pet care can sometimes be seen as a luxury.
That's a valid point.
Yeah.
And there's always the risk of regulatory changes or unforeseen events like disease outbreaks that could disrupt the industry.
Right.
So it's not all sunshine and rainbows.
True.
But Zoetis has a history of navigating challenges and coming out stronger.
Yeah.
They've built a resilient business with a diverse portfolio and a strong global presence.
Mm-hmm.
They're well equipped to handle whatever comes their way.
They are.
Okay, so we've covered a lot of ground.
Right.
Let's try to distill it down to some key takeaways.
Okay.
What are the main things investors should know about Zoetis?
First and foremost,
Yeah.
they're the top dog in the global animal health market,
Right.
with a leading position in almost every segment they operate in.
Hmm.
And they're fiercely committed to innovation,
Yeah.
constantly investing in R&D to develop cutting-edge products.
They're not just riding the wave.
Nope.
They're creating the wave.
Exactly.
And they're financially sound.
Hmm.
They have a rock-solid balance sheet,
Yes.
a history of generating strong cash flow,
Yeah.
and a track record of delivering consistent growth.
Right.
So they're a well-run company with a bright future.
They are.
But of course, this is not financial advice.
Of course not.
And investors should always do their own research.
Absolutely.
Always do your own due diligence.
Mhm.
But based on what we've seen and heard today,
yeah,
Zoetis is certainly a company worth watching.
agreed.
They're a fascinating company operating in a dynamic and growing industry.
They are.
Okay, so we've thoroughly dissected Zoetis' Q3 2024 earnings call.
We have.
What's our final verdict?
It's clear that Zoetis is firing on all cylinders.
Yeah.
Strong financial performance, rapid innovation, and effective strategy execution. They're checking all the boxes.
And they're doing it all while staying true to their mission of improving animal health and well-being.
Precisely.
It's a company with a purpose.
Yes.
And that purpose is resonating with vets, pet owners, and investors alike.
It is.
Okay, folks, that wraps up our deep dive into Zoetis' Q3 2024 earnings call.
Yeah.
But before we sign off, it's time for our signature "This is not financial advice" segment.
I'm always excited for this part.
I know, right?
What crazy but plausible trade idea have you dreamt up this time?
Well, inspired by Zoetis' focus on innovation and the trend of pet humanization, I'm thinking. Personalized pet genomics.
Personalized pet genomics?
Yeah.
Now that's intriguing.
Yeah, tell me more.
Imagine this. You can get a DNA test for your dog or cat.
Okay.
And based on their genetic makeup, you receive a personalized healthcare plan tailored to their specific needs.
So it's like personalized medicine,
right? But
for pets.
Exactly.
We're talking customized treatment plans, preventative measures, even tailored medication dosages.
Exactly. We're already seeing this in human healthcare.
Yeah.
So why not for our furry companions?
Right.
We could identify genetic predispositions to certain diseases and take proactive steps to prevent them.
It could revolutionize the way we approach pet health, shifting from reactive to proactive care.
Exactly.
But wouldn't this require a massive database of pet genetic information?
Right.
And how would we even interpret all that data?
That's where the opportunity lies.
Okay.
Imagine a company that combines cutting-edge genomics research with AI-powered data analysis to create these personalized healthcare plans for pets.
It could partner with vets, pet insurance companies, even breeders.
It's a bold vision, but it's not entirely far-fetched. The technology is already there.
Right.
It's just a matter of applying it to the pet care market.
Exactly.
Of course, this is purely hypothetical, not financial advice.
Absolutely not.
Yeah.
But it's fun to think about the possibilities, right?
Definitely.
And it highlights the incredible potential for innovation in the animal health space.
It does.
On that note, we'd love to hear from you.
Yeah.
What other areas of animal health do you think are ripe for disruption?
Right.
Let us know in the comments below.
And don't forget to check out the full earnings call transcript and other resources for more in-depth analysis.
Thanks for joining us on this Talk Tickers deep dive.
Happy listening.
Until next time, happy investing. That personalized pet genomics idea really got my wheels turning.
It did.
It's amazing to think how much the animal health industry is evolving.
It is.
And Zoetis is right there on the leading edge, constantly pushing the boundaries of what's possible.
Right.
Their commitment to innovation is what sets them apart.
Yeah, it really is.
But it's not just about developing new products.
Right.
It's about anticipating future needs and trends.
Yeah.
As we saw with their strategic moves in livestock.
Exactly.
Their divestiture of the medicated feed additives portfolio was a bold move.
It was.
But it signals their confidence in areas like preventatives, antibiotic alternatives, and genetics. They're not afraid to make tough choices to position themselves for long-term growth.
That's a key sign of strong leadership.
It is.
They're not just reacting to the market. They're actively shaping it.
And their partnership with Denone is a brilliant example of this forward-thinking approach.
It is.
They're tapping into the growing consumer demand for sustainable and ethically produced food.
Yeah.
Aligning themselves with a trend that's only going to get bigger.
Exactly.
It's a win-win for everyone involved.
It is.
Zoetis gets to showcase its commitment to sustainability.
Yeah.
Denone strengthens its supply chain, and consumers feel good about the products they're buying.
Right.
It's a smart way to build brand loyalty and trust.
Absolutely.
And it speaks to their understanding of the evolving consumer landscape.
It does.
Pet owners and consumers in general are becoming more discerning.
Yeah.
Demanding transparency and ethical practices from the companies they support.
Right.
Zoetis is clearly listening and responding to these demands.
They are.
So they're not just a company that makes products.
Right.
They're a company with a conscience.
Yeah. A purpose.
And that's something that resonates with investors.
It does.
Especially in today's world, where ESG factors are becoming increasingly important.
You hit the nail on the head.
Investors are looking for companies that are not only profitable, but also purpose-driven. And Zoetis fits that bill perfectly. They're demonstrating that it's possible to achieve strong financial performance while also making a positive impact on the world.
It's a good story.
It's an inspiring story.
It is.
And it makes me optimistic about the future of the animal health industry.
Me too.
With companies like Zoetis leading the charge, I think we can expect to see even more innovation and progress in the years to come.
I agree.
It's an exciting time to be following this space.
It is.
And as always, we encourage our listeners to do their own research and stay informed about the latest developments. Who knows? Maybe one of our listeners will be inspired to launch the next big thing in pet genomics.
That's what we love to see.
Innovation comes from all corners.
It does.
And we're here to provide the insights and inspiration to fuel that fire.
So until next time, keep those brains buzzing with those "this is not financial advice" ideas.
You never know what might spark the next billion-dollar business.
And remember, if you enjoyed this deep dive into Zoetis, be sure to subscribe to Talk Tickers for more earnings call breakdowns, market insights, and of course, our signature "This is not financial advice" segment.
Thanks for listening.
Happy listening.